From the Blues Hotel Collective, welcome to Blues Moments in Time, where every groove holds a memory and every moment echoes the truth of what came before. Today, we rewind the reel, trace the footsteps, and revisit the chapters that shaped the blues. Here is our host, Kelvin Huggins.
Welcome to Blues Moments in Time, the podcast dedicated to exploring the rich history and the cultural significance of blues music. Today we focus on the events of February 16, a day that reminds us that the blues is not just music, it's a record of survival. Let's start with the cultural landscape. On this day in 1847, the state of Missouri passed a law that chills the blood. It prohibited the education of black people. It became illegal for Negroes and mulattoes to learn to read or write. This brutal attempt to silence people had an unintended consequence. It forced the history and emotion of African Americans into the oral tradition. The blues didn't just happen, it was necessary. It became the unwritten library of people denied books, a way to document joy and sorrow when pen and paper were forbidden. Now let's turn our attention to the political climate. We move to February 16, 1874, when the great abolitionist Frederick Douglass was elected president of the Freedman's Bank. This was the dawn of hope after the Civil War, an attempt to build black economic power. But as we know, the bank would eventually collapse, mirroring the broken promises of Reconstruction. That specific heartbreak, working hard to only have the system fail you, is a central theme in the blues. From the sharecropper fields to the city slums, the economic struggle Douglas fought against is the same struggle sung about by everyone from Big Bill Broonzy to John Lee Hooker. Now, of course, no discussion of blues history would be complete without exploring the music itself. We need to talk about the Empress. February 16, 1923, Bessie Smith was in a New York studio. She had cut Downhearted Blues just the day before, but she wasn't done. On this day, she recorded the B-side, Gulf Coast Blues. That record didn't just sell, it exploded, saving Columbia Records from bankruptcy and proving that black audiences were a powerful commercial force. We fast forward to February 16, 1968, and the blues had crossed the ocean. This was the day Fleetwood Mac released their debut album in the UK. I'm not talking about the Rumours lineup, this was Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. It was raw, it was gritty, and it was a love letter to Elmore James and Howlin' Wolf. It proved that the blues had become a universal language, spoken as fluently in London as it was in Chicago. February 16 has also marked the beginning of life for some incredible blues musicians. We celebrate the birth of Bill Doggett in 1916. If you've ever tapped your foot to a greasy late-night organ groove, you have him to thank. His hit Honky Tonk is the DNA of R&B. We also celebrate Otis Blackwell, born in 1931. You might know him as the man who wrote Don't Be Cruel for Elvis. But make no mistake, Otis was a bluesman at heart. He took the structure of the blues, injected it with a little speed and swagger, and helped birth rock and roll. And sadly, February 16 in 1996, we said goodbye to Brownie McGhee. Brownie was a master of the Piedmont blues, a style that sounds like ragtime on guitar. For decades, he and his partner Sonny Terry were the ambassadors of the folk blues, travelling the world to make sure people knew that the blues wasn't just about electricity and amplifiers. It was about wood, wire, and the truth. Losing Brownie was like losing a library of American history. And that's all the time that we have for today's episode of Blues Moments in Time. Join us next time as we continue to explore the fascinating history of the blues.